introduction. My name is Jade Bethune, and like my colleague Tin mentioned, I work at Okanagan College. Okanagan College is located in British Columbia, Canada, and I'll give you a little more information about that soon in the future. So right now you can see part of our Kelowna campus. Kelowna City is where I currently am. And we're going to begin first by addressing COVID. So the current COVID-19 situation at Okanagan College. Luckily in Canada, almost everybody is vaccinated now. So I believe the latest numbers were 85 to 90% of the Canadian population that is eligible has at least one shot, and I think it's about 80 that have two. And already they are now starting to issue a third dose of COVID vaccines for those who qualify. So as a result, our classes have returned back to face-to-face in a safe environment. So if you come to study at Okanagan College, you can expect to be back in the class. There are still COVID-19 policies to protect everybody, including face-to-face instructions do require masks, as well as there being hand sanitizer, and usually there might be some barriers in place if you need to speak to someone closely, such as the staff at restaurants or other things like that. There'll be a clear plastic barrier. Okay, so where are we? Well, Okanagan College, we're actually in many places. You can find us in the interior of British Columbia. I'm currently coming to you from Kelowna. And if you were to see this being the province of British Columbia, we are the lefternmost province of Canada. So we are right beside the Pacific Ocean. I guess in some ways we share the same water where you are and where we are. And once you arrive into British Columbia from either Vancouver or Seattle, it would be just a 50-minute flight to land at the Kelowna International Airport. And then once you're here, you are just tens of minutes away from our campus. We are located in many places though. So in this valley area, which runs north to south, there are four major cities: Salmon, Vernon, Kelowna, and Penticton. And we serve students from around the world in all four of those cities. Okay. Here are some aerial shots you can see of some of the city areas. You can see that we are located in a mountain valley with a lake as the dominant feature. The lake is called Okanagan Lake, and that's where we get our name. It's very large. It's about 110 kilometers long. And so you can imagine all the beaches that are available. And even though it's very long, you can see it's not very wide. It's maybe 2 to 5 kilometers wide most of the time. So it's this beautiful blue ribbon that connects all of our communities together. And a little bit about our area. So in the Okanagan, the population is about 400,000 people. We are very famous in North America for our agriculture, especially growing wine, grapes, and other fruits. In this area, you can find 240 different wineries, from large wineries to small boutique estate wineries. And the tourism dollars that they bring in every year is substantial. From Canada, the United States, and around the world to come and taste the wines. Also, we're a little bit unique because yes, in Canada, it can get cold in winter. What that allows us to do is something most places in the world cannot do. And we let the grapes freeze in winter, and we harvest them at that time. And when we crush them, most of the water stays frozen, and you end up with something called ice wine. And you'd have to taste it to believe how delicious it is. We're also a technology capital in Western Canada, second to Vancouver area. There's 633 tech companies that have started up in the valley. And a lot of national offices are relocating some of their campuses to Kelowna, Penticton, and Vernon, and Salmon Arm as well, because of course the internet is extremely high speed. It's all fiber optic in this area, and they get to enjoy the wonderful lifestyle. Okay, now a little bit about Okanagan College, now that you understand the area. Well, we are across 4 campuses. In total, there's 130 programs that we offer. And these can be anything from community programs, such as learning medical first aid, or maybe you can have your mother or father learn how to use an iPad or Excel, all the way up to full bachelor degrees, such as our Bachelor of Business Administration. Generally, we have students from 60 different countries studying here. About 10,000 student population, and about 1,500 of those are international students. And why would you want to come to Okanagan College besides the wonderful location and the friendly people? Well, there are lots of other advantages too. So at Okanagan College, we use a small classroom format. What I mean by small is maybe similar to a large high school. So maybe 45 students would be the absolute maximum size, and more often it would be closer to the 25 students in a class. And the way that we do this is we offer the same class multiple times during the day, so students can customize their schedule. And our tuition is very affordable. You may have heard of the University of British Columbia. It's the university named after the province we live in. And it also has a campus located in Kelowna, the same location as us. If you were to compare their tuition to ours, you would see that our tuition is substantially cheaper. So we have very affordable tuition. But all the classes you take in our arts and science program, they are transferable to every other college or university in British Columbia. So you can start with us and do your first or second year and then transfer if you're looking to do a third or fourth year. Or you can graduate directly from us. And I'll be showing you some of those options soon. All right. Now, some areas that we cover in our programs. Of course, there's everything from business, computer science, traditional sciences, arts. And what we mean by arts would not be necessarily fine art, such as photography or painting or drawing, although we do have animation courses. By arts, we are talking about language studies, psychology, sociology, philosophy, things like those that would be considered liberal arts at a university. We also have health and social development programs, tech, which include engineering programs, trades, and food, wine, and tourism. So there is lots to offer. Let's take a closer look at some of these programs. So if you were interested in arts, and specifically you're interested in something that would be social work or community outreach related, we offer a four-year bachelor degree, largely based around a research portion that you would be doing in your third and fourth year. You would actually be working in the community, helping societies do research on the population and best way to help them. This also has a pathway. You're interested in continuing your education at the University of British Columbia, Okanagan campus, pathway direct to a Master's of Social Work. We also have Associate of Arts degrees. These are different than the bachelor degree in that they are only 2 years of study. And all the courses are transferable if you do decide to continue on to do a bachelor degree with us or with another university. So this is what I was referring to when you could do 2 years with us and then transfer and then 2 years at a university, and you would end up with 2 credentials, our Associate of Arts degree after your first years of studies. With an additional 2 years of study at another institution, you could also get your Bachelor of Arts degree. Arts diplomas. These are different than our Associate of Arts degree in that they are combining specific class schedules with practical experience in most of the cases. So whereas the Associate of Arts degree that I previously showed, there's a lot of freedom for you to choose your own selection of classes. Arts diplomas are very focused to give you the skills necessary to proceed in one of these job areas. And you can see we have several different, from environmental studies, communications, culture, journalism, down to our animation program, which I was talking about before. If you are interested in animation, and this would be TV or movie animation, then you should definitely check out this program. And you can find lots of examples of our students' work on YouTube. Associate of Science degree, again, a 2-year university study degree in any of these majors, from astronomy to earth and environmental sciences, all the way to math and statistics. There is a School of Business that offers several programs. So you could graduate with a business administration diploma, after 2 years of study. You could also do a complete 4 years of study and graduate with a Bachelor of Business Administration, often called BBA. And there's lots of opportunities to specialize as well. So you could end up majoring in any of these areas, from accounting to human resource management, financial services, marketing, and tourism. Also, this program does have co-op education available. If you're not familiar with co-op, I can explain it later, but in general, it means that you can combine work with your degree, and you can gain valuable experience and make some money while you are also still considered a student at Okanagan College. We also offer post-baccalaureate diplomas. These are for those of you who already have a degree and you're not interested in going back to in a new area of study from the beginning, but you are lacking skills in a specific area. So for example, a Bachelor of Arts student may want to possibly change careers and go into accounting. That student could apply to our post-baccalaureate diploma. And in these diplomas, you would get a mix of first, second, third, and fourth year undergraduate studies, focused entirely on the special area that you were interested in. And this would give you those additional skills that you might have been missing from your original degree in the form of an academic diploma. So the subjects include accounting, human resources management, and regular business marketing. We also offer data analytics programs. So if you know what a data scientist is, or you're interested in becoming a data analyst, then the marketing and health ones would definitely be of interest to you. They lead to very good careers. The health and data analytics program also our graduates were especially in a high demand, as you can imagine, because of COVID. So all the hospitals, government agencies, insurance companies, everyone, you name it, they're always tracking daily reports on COVID, and data analysts in the health field are the ones that are helping them do that. In our health and social development, we have 2-year diplomas available in kinesiology, human service worker, therapist assistant, and early childhood education. And you can see on the notes here that the human service work, therapist assistant programs, they're already full. So I'm sorry about that news, but the good news is they are offered every year in September. So if you're not able to get to it this year, then you can apply as early as October for fall in 2023. I also should update you that our early childhood education program has recently filled as well. And so it is now full for the start. But like the other programs, it will be available again in fall 2023. So hold on to your applications for those. You can submit them at the end of this year. These programs always fill up quickly. They're very, very popular. Computer information systems. If you are interested in anything such as software design, database systems, or you just want to do general studies in programming, this is your program. Again, options for a 2-year diploma. If you're looking for 2 years of studies, then you'd like to graduate with a credential, or you can continue on for the entire 4-year bachelor degree, an additional 2 years of study, and you can get your bachelor degree. Co-op education is also available in this program. So like our business programs, you could combine work semesters where you gain valuable experience in the local tech industry, earn some money, and also are still considered a student. Engineering technologies. For anyone who wants to be an engineer, this is an excellent for you. You will be doing very practical education. As you can see, one of our students here, you will be outside learning your trade as well as doing lectures in class. This makes you very desirable through employees, in that they will know that you are not just a graduate who has learned theory, that you have actually had hands-on experience as part of your tech diploma at Okanagan College. And the other great thing is our graduates from our 2-year tech diplomas in engineering also get an accelerated pathway into UBC if you are interested in doing a full engineering bachelor's degree. So the areas of study include civil engineering, mechanical engineering, electronic engineering, water engineering, which I should note is actually 2.5 years, not just 2, and it does have co-op available. We also have an infrastructure and computer technology program, which focuses around setting up large-scale networks, as well as some cybersecurity. Sustainable building technology, which focuses on smart and green building construction. And all of these have co-op. We have skilled trades. In our trades areas, they're focusing on 2 general industries. One is the automotive industry, and the other is the aircraft industry. Our 2-year diplomas include a collision repair and refinishing diploma, which leads to very excellent career outcomes. So 2 years of learning how to take a car in an accident and make it look perfectly new again. There's also an automotive service technician program and the aircraft maintenance technician program. The only 1-year option here would be an aircraft engineer structures certificate. So you would only be learning the structures. You wouldn't be learning anything about the engines or avionics. And lastly, we are going to come to our food, wine, and tourism programs. There are 3 programs. Our first one is the Culinary Management Diploma. So in this program, you will do a year of kitchen studies. So you'll be covering the hot kitchen, the cold kitchen, bakery, dessert. In your first year of studies, you will be placed on a co-op practicum where you will go out into Kelowna and area and work perhaps at one of the wineries or the hotels or at the many various restaurants that are located throughout the city. And then you will also do a year of business studies, specifically in the management and accounting fields. And that will allow you to graduate with your culinary management diploma. There are options to forego the additional business studies. In that case, you could just do the culinary arts certificate portion. So essentially just the kitchen portion for 1 year. Or you could look at our pastry arts certificate, which would be focusing instead of on the general kitchen, just on the pastry area. And that about covers all of our programs in a brief overview. I will talk a little bit more now about general services, and then I will return it back over to Tin for any information that she wants and possibly questions and answers. So virtual student services, we are no longer virtual, although as you can see, we still do provide some virtual services, such as this session that you're attending now. But the majority of all our services have returned to face-to-face as the staff have now returned back to all of our campuses. We offer everything that you should expect from a first-class institution, including a dedicated International Student Service Center, of which I am an employee. We also do, of course, full education advising. We have a registered Canadian immigration consultant on staff for immigration advising to all our students. We offer free tutoring through many different centers. There's library services available, personal counseling in case you need someone to talk to. It's private, regular counseling. There's a student recreation and student life department. And within our department, we also have the cultural liaison system, which some of our students have graduated from and joined us again as a cultural liaison. If you are interested about accommodations, we can assist you there. There is a student residence available at the Okanagan College campus in Kelowna. Space is very limited, so if you are interested in a student residence experience, you would need to make sure that you apply very early for a room. It's about $2,700 a semester, that's for 4 months, and you would be living right on campus. Fortunately, we are located inside most of the cities, which means we are already surrounded by lots of opportunities for rentals, including apartment complexes, condo areas, detached housing, and we're also located close to all the shopping centers, restaurants, and grocery stores because we are within the cities and not located outside the cities like many universities normally are. Private rentals, well, the rents can vary considerably depending on your arrangement. There's also a homestay option. So if you are interested in living with a Canadian family, then homestay is available. It says $800 a month, although I am expecting the price to go up slightly for the fall 2022 intake. I don't know the exact amount, but I think it will be about $50 to $100 extra. So maybe $850 a month or $900 a month. It does include food. So you'd be living with the family, you would get your own room, and they would be your family. So you would enjoy food with them, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, as well as all the other activities you might be able to participate in. So student life, thankfully, things are now slowly getting back to normal, although not completely. You will find many different activities that you can enjoy while you're here in all different seasons of the year. Lastly, I'll quickly talk about admissions requirements. So we do have one general admissions requirement for all students, and that is that they must meet English. And that can be met in many different ways, as you can see here. Often students will use an English language test, such as the academic IELTS exam. Maybe they can use TOEFL. Duolingo is very popular as it's an online test that you can take at your convenience. There are also pathways for students to come to Okanagan College and study ESL. And students who graduate from our ESL program are automatically meet our English requirements. Lastly, students who already have a bachelor's degree, and if it was taught in English, they may be eligible to have the English requirement waived. So, and that will bring us to the end of this presentation.
Okay, thanks for your wonderful presentation, Jade. So right now, to all of our attendees and to our Facebook Live viewers, if you have any questions or concerns, feel free to type it in the Q&A box below. And to our Facebook Live viewers, please enter your questions in the comment section. Okay, we actually have one question from our Facebook. The question is the post-baccalaureate in accounting recognized by CPA Canada for the preparatory courses? Also, what are the requirements for the language proficiency?
Okay, that is a great question. So yes, the CPA PEP, or the Chartered Professional Accountants Professional Education Program, does recognize students who graduate from our post-baccalaureate diploma in accounting. Actually, in some ways, the program was made specifically for students who are interested in joining the CPA PEP program. So the answer to that is yes. However, you may meet our admissions requirements. You should still contact the CPA PEP to have your credential evaluated by them, because you will get the prerequisites through us. But if they don't recognize your particular international degree, and that's what you need to be sure of. So if your degree is from another country, such as the Philippines or maybe elsewhere in the world, you just want to make sure that they recognize it first before you apply to our program. If they do recognize it and then you take our program, you will meet those prerequisites. You were talking about admissions requirements. The general English admissions requirement is the primary one. If you already have a bachelor's degree, which my guess is you would, because you're applying to this post-baccalaureate program, then if you have a certificate or letter from your university that plainly states that your degree was taught in English, often we can then waive the English requirements. Otherwise, there are the other English tests that you will need to confirm with CPA before you apply to us if they will take your degree. We want to make sure that you don't do 2 years of study with us and meet all the prerequisites and then show up at CPA PEP and say, we don't recognize your degree. So get it checked first before you apply to our program.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. We have our next question. I'm a business administration graduate and has been working in the HR or human resource field for the past 8 years. Am I qualified to take the post-baccalaureate HR management?
This is a good question. I think there may be a chance the answer is actually no. And you may be surprised to hear that. The reason for this is if you already have a business degree, there's a very good chance that you've already studied most of the classes that we cover in our post-baccalaureate. So post-baccalaureate diplomas at Okanagan College, they're not traditional postgraduate studies like a master's degree or a PhD degree, which builds upon the education that you would have already done in your bachelor degree. What our post-baccalaureates do is they actually go back to the beginning, they go back to first year studies. And so they're designed for people who did not study HR, who maybe have a business degree or have a science or an engineering degree, and they never took those classes, but they already have a bachelor degree. Those are the ones that would be doing our post-baccalaureates, ones that are doing new study, but back at the undergraduate level. Having said that, if you would like to, you could get your original bachelor degree evaluated. Usually it's World Education Services that would do this. They could do a course-by-course evaluation, and you could submit that to Okanagan College. Tin would definitely be able to help you with this. And our business department could take a look at the courses. And if it turns out that even though you have a business degree in HR, that many of the courses you took actually are not the same courses that we teach, and there's very little overlap. In that case, you actually might be admissible to join our program if it looks like all the classes you'd be taking with us would be new learning. So there is still a possibility.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. We have our next question. Okay, he or she is a fourth year college currently. Okay, he is asking if does he need to finish his degree, or Okanagan College can credit or transfer his or her credits earned in his college, and then he'll be continuing it in Okanagan College for his or her degree or bachelor's degree.
Very good question. International credit transfer is very difficult to accomplish. I would caution and just say, no, that's probably not a good idea. I'd make two recommendations. The first would be, if you're in your fourth year, you're so close, just, finish it off, graduate, get your credential. You've put in lots of hard work at the institution you're already at. So you're so close, I would just graduate. And then with that, you can look at some of our post-baccalaureate diplomas to do an additional 2 years of study. Or if you're looking to change your career entirely, maybe you are doing a liberal arts degree, but you realized you love mathematics and you want to be an electronic engineer, then you could apply as an electronic engineer directly to one of our programs for new learning. So I think the best advice for you right now is you're almost done, just finish. The credit transfer will not work out very well for you.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. Okay, there's another question for you. Is there is housing also allowed for married students, or has that accompanying dependents?
Good question. So if you're asking if you can bring your spouse with you to the student residence, unfortunately, the answer is no. We don't automatically allow cohabitation in the same bedroom at our residence. I mean, it could technically be possible if you applied as independent people, but you may not end up in the same room, or definitely not in the same room. You may not even be on the same floor. But if you are a married couple or a couple in general, you would need to be looking for your own accommodation. You would not be able to use the student residence, or you would not also be able to use our homestay program.
Okay, perfect. Also for the accommodation, you can check it online while you're still here in the Philippines. So, but don't make any confirmations yet, not until you arrive in Canada, just to make sure. Okay. There's another question. Are students allowed to work while in school? Okay. International students are allowed to work part-time, maximum of 20 hours per week. Okay.
Yes. Depending on the program and your study permit, Students also would be able to work full-time during regular breaks, scheduled breaks. For our school, that would be from May until August for 4 months. So students would be able to work full-time at then. And during other regularly scheduled breaks, such as reading break or Christmas break, you could also work full-time. It is a little bit specific to making sure that you're in an academic program. It's not available to ESL students. And co-op is additional work opportunities over and above the regular work opportunities. So there is definitely work opportunities.
Okay, perfect. Okay, there's a question here. I think that's for me. It's about the work experience. Okay, so if you're pertaining to work experience that you're gonna earn, mainly the part-time work can be or cannot be counted in your permanent residency, but mainly for 1 year Canadian work experience to be eligible to apply for your permanent residency, it will be counted in the postgraduate work permit stage, wherein you can work full-time, okay, after your studies. But can you please confirm what work experience are you also pertaining here so we can actually address it perfect, okay? Okay. We have a next question. Does Okanagan College accept grade 10 or high school graduate from the old curriculum here in the Philippines?
Unfortunately, no. So if you're using the older curriculum from the Philippines, you would also need to make sure that you have at least a 3-year bachelor's degree or 3-year degree. Sorry, and Tin would be very familiar with that as well.
Okay, perfect. Also, there's a question, or I think there's an update about the Okanagan College for the K-12 graduates from here in the Philippines about the Duolingo test. Can you further explain it to them about the requirement?
So Duolingo, the general requirements in the past were that a student needs to get an overall score of 105. Those will be updated, and it might already be live now, that they also want to make sure that the sub-scores that are used to calculate your overall score are 100 minimum. So you may get 105, but you also want to make sure that each of these sub-scores are 100 each.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that.
One extra thing I forgot to mention is I know I mentioned we have bachelor degrees in business, so the BBA, and also the arts applied degree. You would actually need 110, an overall score of 110, because those have slightly higher English requirements to start, but the same minimum sub-score of 100 is there. So that does not increase.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that, Jade. We have a next question. How much is the tuition fee on business administration degree or business administration diploma for 2 years?
Good question. If you are looking for the entire cost, tuition and fees, in Canadian dollars, it would be around $30,000 total. Now, as far as your payment experience would be, usually there's a $10,000 deposit, which would cover your first semester of studies of 5 classes and most of your second semester as well. So you would not be paying $30,000 at the beginning. You would just do your first $10,000 and then maybe Tin might be talking to you more about immigration requirements. She might recommend that her team that you actually pay a full year up front, should be about $15,000, but it would be customized based on everyone's scenario. And that's where having an agent like Gateway to Canada is very helpful. But overall cost is about $30,000, 20 classes at about $1,500 each.
Okay, perfect. Thanks for that, Jade. We have actually a next question. When is the opening of accepting applications for January 2023 intake?
January intake is very limited. There's not going to be as many programs available as during our regular fall intakes, but it is opening soon, next week. We should start applications as of February 1st for the programs that are available in January.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. Another question. How do we qualify to take culinary studies, and do you offer scholarship for your students?
Good questions. So there's two types of culinary studies. There's just the certificate, which is the one-year program where you're focusing on the kitchen. To qualify for that is quite simple. You just need to meet the general English requirements. And then you'll need to show, I believe it is grade 10 mathematics at about 50%. So that should have been covered in either the old curriculum, mathematics at Filipino high school, or definitely under the new curriculum as well. It's very simple. If you are looking to do the 2-year management diploma, the English requirement remains the same, but the math requirement does increase because you will be doing business and math classes as part of the academic portion. So instead of grade 10 equivalent of math, you would do grade 12 equivalent of mathematics at around 60% average is what they're looking for. Any university mathematics like a pre-calc or calculus, those can also be considered, but around grade 12 mathematics or your final year of the new curriculum's mathematics study would be required. There was a question about, scholarships. Yes.
Yeah, scholarships.
There are no scholarships specifically for that program, unfortunately. No. We do have a financial aid and awards webpage, which is periodically updated with the bursary options, but there is nothing that is a regular scholarship available. I'm sorry to say.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. So far, to all of our attendees, if you have still any other questions, we still have ample of time, so that Jade can also address your concerns while he's here with us. Yeah, so please feel free to enter your questions in the Q&A box or to our comment section so that we can have it addressed. Okay. I guess there's no other questions, guys. Do you have still any? Okay, while we wait, Jade, for their additional questions, do you have any final remarks to all of our viewers or to all of our attendees?
Yes. Well, first of all, thank you so much for joining us. And this is the first time that Tin and I have met each other, although we've spoken so many times through email. So it's like the wonder of the new age, the COVID life, right? Where so many people are making connections online. Also, Gateway to Canada and Okanagan College, we've been working together for such a long time. And actually, our current director of international education, he started his career working in the market of the Philippines. His name was Gordon Schuster, and Tin knew him before he was a director. So that just goes to show how far back the connection between our two institutions and our partnership is. And Gordon does say hello, by the way.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. And it's actually nice finally meet you, and hopefully you can visit also Philippines anytime soon once travel restrictions are all lifted.
Yes, exactly. Do you think that there would be any program that you would like me to highlight a little bit more? Something that you think might be interesting to the people that are attending?
Okay. Actually, most of students or the clients are interested in with the business administration diploma, specifically with because they have all these concentrations. You have the hospitality, marketing, finance, and human resource, and there's also for the post-baccalaureate programs. That's mostly our students are applying to.
Okay, I would be happy to go in depth a little bit more into some of our business programs. And I could also show some of the class specializations that students would be taking, some examples. I could also provide a little bit more information on the tuition. And lastly, I would love to be able to talk about our tourism management diploma at our Revelstoke campus.
Yes.
Which students might find very interesting. So how much time do we have?
Feel free to share your screen or discuss further.
Okay.
We still have ample of time, actually.
Okay, so I'd like to open up our program page. I will share my screen. It has some very exciting stuff I'd like to highlight for everybody who's joining us here, specifically about our tourism management diploma program at our Revelstoke campus. And if you've never heard of Revelstoke, I recommend you look it up. It is a beautiful resort town located near the Rocky Mountains, and it is famous all across Canada for its outdoor adventure activities. as well as having, wonderful hotels and a beautiful community as well. So people all over the world come to there. And we are now offering our tourism management diploma in that city. So you'll be studying in the same place where all the resorts are looking to hire you, and you'll be able to participate in the lifestyle that people have there. So let me bring it up.
Okay. While you're prepping to share your screen, Jade, there's also an attendee that would like to know more about the environmental study program.
Yeah, sure. And I can even bring up the topics directly. So let me go and navigate to that program right now, because that is an actual question. So environmental studies, and I will share my screen in just a moment. Okay. Let's share. Okay, so right now we are looking at the Okanagan College webpage. And so we're going to look at the diploma in environmental studies. Now, the diploma in environmental studies is going to be combining social sciences and humanities together. So if we look down here at the program details, I highly encourage you to go and look at the webpage to learn more about it, but we can also skip ahead directly to what some of the course contents would be, specifically under the program outline. So there are 3 different options in this actually. There's an interdisciplinary option. And in year 1, you can see you'd be looking at everything from Indigenous studies to human geography to sociology. In year 2, you could be looking at things such as ecofeminism or geographical data analysis. There's also an environmental management option. This is going to be mixing in some business studies classes along with the other environmental classes. So, for instance, instead of the ecofeminism, you'd be looking at principles of microeconomics along with your human geography. There's earth and environmental studies. Lots of different ways to customize this program. It's 20 classes total. So you're looking at this and you might be thinking, I have to take all of these? No. You're only going to be taking 20 classes total, but you can just see the selection of classes that you can take when you're in this program. Lastly, there's an environmental science option. This one does require that students have mathematics, but you could also be mixing in biology. You'd be doing a little bit of calculus as well, earth and environmental sciences, and you'd be including chemistry. So the environmental sciences program is, it's very versatile. And it is an ability for you to have your feet in multiple different disciplines, not just in the arts, though it is under the arts department. So hopefully that helps explain a little bit about this program. I am going to skip back over to our business studies, and I'm going to pull up the program of our tourism management diploma. So here are our diploma programs. And right away you can see, you won't be living here, but you're going to see the kind of adventure that draws people to this city in the tourism management diploma. People from all over the world, definitely North America, United States, Europe, they are traveling to this city to enjoy the beautiful outdoors during the day, and then at night to return back to this, the city for all the spa services and everything else that you get there. I'm wondering if we can play this YouTube video, but it might be better if you play it. We'll have to just see. Do you think I should give it a shot and open it up in YouTube and see if it plays well?
I think you may give it a shot so we can also check.
Okay, so I want to watch it on YouTube though. I don't want to have it embedded so that I can full screen it. So let's see if it loads up. Okay, and of course I get advertisements.
We can hear the sounds, but the actual video is not showing in your screen.
Right. So what you're looking at here is the alpine skiing, the outdoor kayaking, as well as rock climbing, the camping experiences. Then you can see the festivals that happen during the day, the mountain biking. One thing you'll notice is that this is all year round ecotourism. So spring, summer, fall, winter, all year round, people are here to enjoy this area. And all the businessmen, lawyers, and doctors, the people who are just need to get out of the city, they need adventure, they need fresh air and wildlife, they come here because they know that they just need to step outside the door and they're in a beautiful area. And they get all the other amenities of the city when they're there. So it's a very exciting two-year program, and you will be living in that same area. So in some ways, you can almost consider the city and the outdoors is your classroom in a lot of ways, because when you're done class and you walk outside, you're going to be surrounded by this kind of area. So I'm always excited to show that off.
Okay, thanks for that, Jade. To our attendees, do you have any other questions or concerns? So while we have here Jade, so that he can also address your concerns. Okay, wait for a moment. I'll just gonna check. Okay. We don't have any follow-up questions, but just to add on with the one that you shared last, Okanagan College has a campus in Vernon, where it also included in the RNIP for the Rural and North Immigration Pilot that helps international students to be a permanent resident easily. Okay, so that you may also want to consider Okanagan College and their Vernon campus. Okay, yeah.
Very good. So there are only 10 cities in all of Canada that are part of this pilot program, this immigration pilot program. And it's specifically designed to provide an easier pathway to permanent residence. And it's for people who want to stay and live in the area. So in British Columbia, you cannot find another institution that has this advantage that Okanagan College does, because our campus is in the city of Vernon. The city of Vernon is one of the only 10 that are part of this exclusive pilot program. So if you finish your program with us in Vernon, you could be eligible for RNIP, and the city would nominate you, if you are selected, to IRCC, which is Immigration Canada. And it gives you a huge points advantage on your PR application. So yeah, that is something that could potentially be available to you if you do choose the Vernon campus. A good point, Tim.
Okay. Okay, I guess we've already covered everything from the programs of Okanagan College and to all the information that you've shared. I guess at first I would like to thank you, Jade, for accepting our invitation for this webinar for today. And I also thank to our attendees and to all of our viewers that they make time to attend also our webinar. But if you have any questions after our webinar, please feel free to visit our website. That's www.gatewaytocanada.com, and you can also book your online appointment to one of our case manager so we can further address and discuss your concerns. Okay, I guess that's it, and I'll just gonna wrap it here for today, and we'll see you again next week for another study session. Okay, thanks, Jade, for your time. Thank you all guys for your time also, and keep safe. Bye guys. Bye, Jade.
Bye-bye.